Kansas City Community Gardens. It was actually started in 1979 by the Metropolitan Lutheran Ministries. And they were doing a lot of food assistance to low-income families. They were handing out, food supplies, and they started what they called the Community Garden Project. I came along in 1985, and that's just when they decided they were going to become a separate not-for-profit agency. Now we have school gardens, we have community partner gardens, community orchards, our giving groves, we have the Beanstalk Children's Garden. Basically, they all tie back to that same mission of helping people grow food. People always think community gardens were only working with people at group sites, but we actually help gardeners at their homes. They can sign up as a member, get 10 packages of seed with their membership. They can buy plants at low cost. They can actually sign up to get their gardens tilled at their house in their backyard, which is a huge help to people. At this site and most of our sites, we have raised beds and ground plots. The whole idea is just to make garden space available to people because so many people lack their own gardening space. And if they can come rent a plot and it's all set up for them, it makes it very, very easy for them to have access to produce.
I worked 30 years construction. I was an iron worker, retired from that. So this is what I do here, come out and do a little gardening. Grew up gardening. It saves a lot of money, plus it's healthier for you. And you meet a lot of good, friendly people out here. So I really enjoy. These are called Bravo. The first 12 heads are called Bravo cabbage, and they get probably big as a basketball almost. I got 2 rows of sweet potatoes there. I'll dig them about September. These are the collard greens. I've already picked them about 3 times and just picked them and gave them away to people. Some people say you ought to sell it, but it don't cost me that much. I'd rather give it to somebody, just see the joy.
We work with 275 community agencies to have gardens at their locations. And these gardens are all different kinds of purposes. So some of them are growing food to feed the people at that agency. Some of them are actually growing food for a food pantry. The best examples of one of our community partner gardens is Paseo West. They provide food for homeless people. It turned out just to be a really great site and is producing lots and lots of food for people.
This whole platform used to be a homeless camp. They came in here and bulldozed this area, and look what we have here today. We have 27 raised beds here. We grow collard greens, dinosaur kale, garlic, red onions, leeks, beets, and a lot of love. We come out here every day and just take care of this garden. We share all this food with the community. We have a lot of volunteers that come in from churches, universities, and that's what really helps this space to flourish. It's a lot of work that goes into growing this food. And Kansas City Community Garden has just always walked us through everything, and they still do today.
So we work with about 220 schools throughout the Kansas City metro area, and they're preschool through high school age students working in the garden. Here at SVN, Chef Paul is really trying to incorporate the garden into the cafeteria, and we work together to create a garden plan so we know when to plant and when to harvest so he can get optimal use out of the veggies, and also grow things that kids like and try a few new things to really expand kids' taste buds.
The great thing about Kansas City Community Gardens and the Schoolyard Garden program is that kids are not just learning about gardening. They're learning teamwork, responsibility. They're taking pride in the work that they're doing. We're able to take the things that they're doing in the garden and take it straight to our kitchen and then serve those vegetables and fruits to them, and they see the entire process. If that just sparks interest in a few families in our school community to have their own gardens and to start having a healthier lifestyle, I think we've done it then. That's where the magic is when it can leave our school and go into the homes in our community.
This is the Beanstalk Children's Garden. It's a magical place. It's a field trip destination, just like kids, go to the zoo, they go to the nature center. We want them to come to this garden and learn about how food grows and where food comes from and why it's important to eat fruits and vegetables.
Say this with me, goo.
Goo. Goo.
Me.
Me.
Goo me.
Goo me.
Goo me, come here with me to the Goo Me tree. The kids really like it. And you have to remember, there are a lot of kids who do not have a garden, who do not get to play outside. This is an opportunity for them to do that, to be in nature.
We have children coming in here from like 4 and 5-year-olds all the way up through high school. Many of them are growing up in areas that would be considered food deserts, so there's not a lot of fresh produce. So they're tasting as they go and they're learning about food, and it's just an amazing, eye-opening experience for them. So our Give and Grow program is pretty unique. It's community orchards, just like you think about community gardens being annual vegetables. This is trees and berry bushes. We have over 175 Give and Grow sites where we're growing fruit.
We partnered with Hellcook Elementary. It was our very first orchard that we put in the ground. The neighborhood around the elementary school agreed to be the stewardship for the orchard. It's in their play area. The neighborhood is engaged in the orchard. So there's this really wonderful integration going on.
We're in Girls in the Run, so we're doing our community service project, and we're helping get all the weeds out of the garden so the plants can grow freely.
The Give and Grow orchard is allowing not only the Girls on the Run girls, but Hale Cook students and families and members in the community to be able to have that hands-on learning experience that's natural and it's seamless.
The orchard has always been a wonderful spot to have conversations about the school, about the community, about the neighborhood. It's always a jumping off point for relationship building and having those small conversations that can lead to greater things.
There are still lots of places in this city that need gardens. There's places where it's really desolate and there's not a lot of great access to fresh produce. And of course, the other thing we want to do is help people have better gardens. We're learning new things all the time about better ways to control insects, about how to produce more food. If you can get people to grow some of their own food, it changes people's perspective on life, the dynamics, how people interact with the community, and there's just so many positive things that happen in that process.